Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about sharpening knives and home maintenance. So how I sharpen knives is a little bit different from how someone would do that at home. I have a very fancy belt sander that I can turn to very low speeds so I can safely sharpen the knife without ruining the temper. One of the most common things with a knife is after use, it starts to develop a shine on the edge, and that's where the burrs started to roll over. So a perfectly sharp knife won't reflect any light off the edge. There are some small things that you can do while you're using the knife to make sure that it doesn't happen quite so rapidly. One of those is using a hone. What a hone does is it doesn't necessarily sharpen a knife, but as the edge is used, it starts to curl. And so the hone, what it does is just straightens out that curl. Now, over time of going back and forth, the metal pops off and fluffs away, and the burr fluffs away, and you're left with a rounded edge. And that's about the time that you want to be sharpening it again. If you're using a knife a lot, that can be anywhere from a month to 3 months, especially if you're using a hone and it lasts a little bit longer. How you can tell a knife has been sharpened properly is, once again, you won't see any reflection off of the edge, and if you look at the knife, it'll be a nice round. If you have a dip that goes under, then it's called a saddle, and that needs to be taken out by a knife sharpener or you at home. Another really handy thing is that if you're going to be buying a new knife, getting a knife with a full bolster that goes all the way down to the edge is bad. It's very difficult to resharpen those knives, especially for professional knife sharpeners, because it doesn't leave you any space to, the blade kind of goes in and it kind of creates a dead space. Another thing that you can do to keep your knife nicely polished is using mineral oil on your knives. Scrubbing it on, leaving it to kind of like evaporate off is really handy. That also works for the wood on the knives, and it makes it a little bit glossier and nicer. So those are some tips on how to take care of your knife properly, and hope that helps.